Hey guys, how's it going? So we are going to be looking at our very first best class setup video for the new Finn LMG. We got it in Damascus yesterday, and then last night I kept grinding, trying tons of attachment combinations, along with just revisiting the ones that I used while I was getting it gold in turn, in turn Damascus. And I've found a lot of just phenomenal combinations for different kinds of like situations, like play styles, what have you, different game modes as well. And I was originally going to be dropping like 4 solid class setups all at once today, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to share this with you guys so that it has time to circulate, because I think this is what is going to be like one of the most well-rounded combinations of attachments for just regular multiplayer, all the way up to things like Warzone or Ground War, because it gives you the ability to reach out and touch somebody. So we're going to be starting off with the muzzle, throwing on the monolithic suppressor, because one thing that I have really found with this LMG, despite the stat menu, is just the damage range isn't that great. It's like it definitely melts people up close and you can reach out and touch somebody, but we really going to want to take and try to put some emphasis on being able to just extend our range a wee bit more. So now going to the barrel, this is what makes this gun such a versatile weapon, because where they added this adverse like barrel option, which just increases the fire rate, and then you have all these different barrel links to where just between bullet velocity, damage range, fire rate, aim down, sight speed, all this stuff can be tweaked to such like a fine-tuned amount with all the other attachments. But with this one in particular, we're going to be going with the adverse barrel because that's what everybody's all about. But I will go ahead and let you guys know that I prefer to run this weapon without the adverse barrels. I like the slowed down, like just the stock fire rate of the weapon and the accuracy that it provides, and that's what I would recommend for most people, because it's easier to handle. And with these adverse barrels, the fire rate is kind of just snuffed out in terms of its usefulness by how inaccurate the weapon it makes the weapon. So that's what we're kind of going to counteract right here, is the poor accuracy. So we're going to be going with the XRK long shot adverse barrel. Now with that, the accuracy is still very great. You can hold this thing pretty flat up to like the shorter end of medium range, but if you want to reach out and touch somebody, which you probably will have to do if you're playing Warzone, you're going to have to throw a couple more things on there. So we're going to go to the stock, throw on the XRK Citadel stock for the aim stability. And now for what, it's kind of crazy to me after all the combinations. I have used shorter barrels with this exact setup I'm about to show you guys, and I could not tell a difference in the ADS time. What I mean by that is, like, this right here actually ends up having very good ADS time in games, so just bear with me. So then we're going to take and throw on the tac laser. Now normally, I'm not a big fan of the tac laser because obviously when you're ADSing, you got a big old green laser beam giving away your position, but it really helps hold this thing on target, plus you get the added benefit of increased ADS time, which can be very important. So it's all going to kind of depend on what your actual play style is with this weapon. So just, keep that in mind and just adjust your play style to that. Like this is something I would try to keep it with medium range, and just remember, if you're going to pre-aim, which you should in every situation if you can, just try to hide your laser. All you have to do is hide it on the edge of a door frame or something, and then just scoot right over to your target whenever they come around. And then in the event you get in a situation where somebody comes up on you in a hurry, then your ADS time is that much better, and then this thing is just an absolute laser of a gun. And like with that adverse barrel, it melts them plenty quick enough. Now you do not need an underbarrel attachment, and ideally if you're playing regular multiplayer, I love the iron sights on this, but I've already seen in the comments on the other videos that a lot of you guys do not like the iron sight, so feel free to throw on a GI Mini Reflex. If you're playing Warzone, I would say cut the optic and throw on the 100-round belt. I would stay away from any of these right here, the case telescope rounds, because like it hurts your damage range and bullet velocity, and you're going to want all of that you can possibly get. Now since we're going to be playing just, like I said, we're going to be playing bots on high difficulty, just so we can see this without any lag, any interruptions, and you can just get an idea of how this class up operates. But yeah, feel free to cut out the GI Mini Reflex and throw on either the 100-round belt or even sleight of hand, just so you can reload quicker, because having that extra 25 rounds in a game mode like Warzone can make a huge difference, especially when you have an adverse barrel on, because you burn through the ammo a lot quicker, but it melts people a lot quicker as well. So it's just about having a good trade-off. And with that being said, I just recommend having a good secondary. In this case, got my best GS50 class setup, which absolutely destroys everybody in its path. So there you go, rocking EOD Ghost and Tune Up, Lethal's a Frag, Tactical's a Stun. So here we go. Now see, look, right here, right off the rip, that ADS time right there, you got to think, to have this big old barrel on there, we got 75 rounds, and we got a monolithic suppressor, so the ADS time for this is not bad at all. Now, I got the bots on very high, on veteran, I do believe, so this will be a good challenge for it. And this right here is more of a fast-paced, like, you know, situation, like gameplay, whatever, than you'll be dealing with in Warzone and things of the like. So this isn't necessarily the best benchmark, but at least you'll be able to see how well it'll play up close. This thing with the adverse barrels, though, it's so fast. And it's like if you try to use the smaller barrels, they're great, and I'm going to be doing like some AR sub-style class setups for this, and I've already got some that do smack and are more ideal for like your regular multiplayer experience, like Shoot House, like the Shoot the Ship playlist, and I'm going to do a separate video covering like the chainsaw you know, attachment where you just can hip fire this bad boy, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I've been hearing people talk about being OP and stuff, but I mean, I've had some good games with it, but just for me, it's nowhere near as you know, consistent as your standard setups, at least unless you're just really going for the spray and pray aspect, and maybe if you played hardcore or something, you could really decimate people with that thing, but I prefer this. Where is the enemies? Jesus Christ, bro. I didn't know I had SEAL Team 6 on my team. I'm just wiping out everybody. I probably should have just took the bots and took them off. The other thing I've noticed is, too, the reload time for this bad boy with the standard 75 round belt is not atrocious. Like, that's why I kind of lean towards not even having sight. Okay, my soldiers are just out here. They're just outdoing themselves. So up close, this thing, you know, it's obviously going to melt people. I want to try to post up on the wall, but I'm going to have to back out. I forgot to raise the score limit too, so we're only going to be going to 75. But I want you guys to let me know in the comments if you would like for me to go ahead and drop the other class setups ASAP. I just wanted to give this video time to circulate so it didn't get buried, because this right here is just a phenomenal class setup altogether. Like, this is one that I would recommend for most people in most situations. Okay, I just got shot through smoke because I'm playing against the computer. But yeah, so just be sure to let me know which ones you'd like to see first, rather it be the sub variation. This right here is going to be your best like route for just distance in general, except for I would just go with the I don't forgot the exact, you know, name of the barrel, but it's just the longest range barrel without the adverse effect on it, because that's the one that I would be using most, especially if I play Warzone. This right here just gives you the higher fire rate, so if you are smart about it and you can keep most of your engagements up close and personal, I mean just within the medium range aspect of Warzone, then this right here with the adverse barrel would be phenomenal and would melt kids all day every day. But you know, if you're really wanting to just have a very versatile setup, then, and it will, especially it's all about if you can manage your accuracy. Like, if you're not able to really control your thumbs or your hand with a mouse, then you're way better off rocking with just the longest barrel attachment with the standard fire rate on this thing, because where it's so slow, well, it's not even that slow, it's just really slow compared to this, you know, the adverse barrel. So that would be the way I would recommend going, just because it's you'll be able to maintain your accuracy, and it's like a fast fire rate doesn't mean it ain't worth nothing if you can't keep your shots on target, and that's the main thing to remember, because a lot of people talk about fire rate, you know, damage, stopping power, just everything, but it doesn't matter if you're not hitting your target. So just that's one of those things you gotta be honest with yourself, and either, you know, work on your accuracy or just kind of make your weapon suit the accuracy that you currently have. That's always the best bet. Now, having this adverse barrel is really nice when you run into, you know, multiple people, because you can kind of burn through them a lot quicker. Like I said, I just haven't got any good setup here to get any long-range engagements. The bots always seem to want to run around the edges of the map. And, you know, just for anybody, in case you're new, obviously I've got the gun Damascus. I've put in all the time working on developing these class setups in actual games. It's just better for me to showcase them in, you know, custom games with high difficulty bots, so that lag and everything else doesn't affect the way that you guys perceive and get to see the class setup in action. It's more of a, you know, a control group kind of setting. So there you go. But everything is worked out phenomenal. This is an amazing weapon. I do see this thing getting some potential nerfs in the future, depending on how people complain about it. If people complain about it in large numbers, you know, that's kind of something you see in the professional COD player community. People get killed by a new weapon in Warzone or something, and they miss out their Warzone win. They just want to take the world down with them. But there you go, guys. That is his first, you know, most well-rounded class setup I've come up for this. It's going to suit most people's goals and aspirations, the things they want to achieve while using this weapon in the game modes, especially Warzone. So yeah, just, you know, hit me up with any questions, concerns, comments, how you feel about the weapon in the comment section, and let me know which variations you'd like to see next. Like right there, my guy's walking around with the old chainsaw grip on that thing, and like that's going to be its own standalone video, but I'm going to save that. That one's not that important. I mean, that's really just one of those attachments that's like, it's cool, it's neat. You know, you use it when you want to dick around, but it's just not, it's not worth wasting time trying to act. Like, don't go into Warzone with that thing. I mean, even if you're in a building, you can melt somebody, but you're better off with just having your ADS action and stuff. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it for this one. I'm going to hurry and try to get this video up for you guys so you can take advantage of this class setup. And yeah, as always, thanks for watching. Hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and share your friends. And until the next one, adios.